We are ready to get rolling into Chapter 7. Chapter 7 is working with exponential and logarithmic functions. Okay, so exponentials we're going to look at in this first lesson, and logarithmic is what we will learn will undo exponentials. So those of you that were looking at your STAR assessments earlier and said, they gave me some weird stuff. It looked like log 4, base 4 of some number, and I was supposed to figure that out, and I have no idea. After this chapter, you will have an idea. Okay? So we're going to start by graphing them, of course. We like to see the picture. And then we're going to solve the equations, and then we will apply those functions. We're going to talk about exponential growth functions. We will compare them first with what we already know. A linear function is a first-degree polynomial. We've seen y equals mx plus b or y equals ax plus b, and the same amount is added for each increase in x. So if a, the slope, happens to be 4, you'd always be adding 4. When you increase x by 1, you'd add 4 to what you had before. A quadratic, that has that x squared. It's a second degree. We looked a little bit at cubics and higher degree polynomials. Okay? So when you have polynomial function, you got your lead coefficient, you have your zeros. There might be complex zeros if it's something that cannot be factored. But we've dealt with polynomial functions now. Okay, where we're going now is exponential functions. And you're multiplying by the same number for each increase in x. Okay, notice that the x is in the exponent. You might see y equals, we'll just keep it simple, 1 times 3 to the x. And if we were to make a table of values, when x is 0, anything to the 0 is 1, times 1 is 1. When x is 1, you're going to have 1 times 3. When you put in 2 for x, you're going to have 1 times 9, 3 squared. And if you put negative 1 in for x, you get the reciprocal, so you're going to have 1 divided by 3. So notice you're multiplying by 3, not by x. Okay? X is changing, but it's telling you how many times to use your base, in this case 3, as a factor. Okay? Let's take a look. This is a pretty easy one. The a is 1. My base is 2. Okay, so we'll go -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and you eventually will get to the point where you don't have to rate the chart. You'll just be able to do it in your head. Anything to the 0 is 1, to the 1 is itself, the -1 reciprocals it, 2 squared is 4, and the reciprocal is 1/4. So our graph is going to look something like this. Okay, now, a common mistake that people make, and I'll admit I made it too back in the day, is they think that this here left-hand side will eventually end up with a negative. Well, you tell me what power you can raise a positive number to get it less than 0. And that's impossible. It's impossible. If it's a positive number, you cannot raise it to a small enough or a negative enough power to make it become negative. 2 to the -4th simply becomes 1 over 2 to the 4th. That's 1/16. That's, yes, very tiny, but it's not negative. So when we look at the domain, okay, x is any real number, but your range, your y values, y is going to be greater than 0. Unless we move that graph up and down, that will not change. You can use anything you want for an exponent. But when you raise a positive number to a power, you are going to get a positive result. Okay? Here's an example. Now I put a 4 in there. That's going to mess up my chart a little bit. Okay? So when I put 0, 1, 2, -1, -2 in, anything to the 0 is 1, but I got to take 4 times that 1. Okay? -1 reciprocals it. So 4 times 2/3, that would be 8/3. Down here, I'm sorry, I should have done this one first. 4 times 3/2, that will become 12/2 or 6. Okay? When I raise it to the second, that'd be 4 times 9/4. I think you're seeing that's 9. When I raise it to the -2, that's 4 times 4/9. That's 16/9. Okay, wrench runners, you're more accustomed to 9/16. Okay, 16/9, that would be a little over 1, right? Almost 2. 8/3 is 2 1/3, right? Here's 0, 4, 1, 6, 2, 9. Okay, well, let's take a look. Oh, let's use the red. Okay, my base is 3/2, which is greater than 1, so it does go up to the right. But what did this lead coefficient do? What did that A value do? Well, that changed where I started when x is 0, when my exponent is 0. When my exponent is 0, it's going to start at 4 and instead of 1. So that's changing where we hit the y-axis. All right, let's take a look at this one. What do you think that 1/2 is going to do? And maybe some of you already have it. That's all right. You can still listen or you can fly through this. Okay, anything to the 0 is 1, so I got 1/2. This would be 1/2 times 3 to the 1. Okay, and to the 2, 1/2 times 3 squared. That'd be 9/2, 4 1/2. Okay, and 3/2 is 1 1/2. 1/2. What happens when we go to the -1? So that's going to be 1/2 times 1/3 for 1/6. And this will be 1/2 times 1/9 for 1/18. Well, that got teeny tiny in a hurry. But notice your domain. You can still put anything you wish in for x. Okay, but your range is still going to be positive values. What did the 1/2 do? It affected where we started. Okay. What do you suppose the -3 is going to do to those values? Very good. It's going to flip it over. Okay, so when we multiply by 2, the next one should be -6. The one after that would be down there at -12. And this way, instead of 1/2, it's going to be -1 1/2, and so on. So that -3, I missed the first time, that -3 flipped it over. Instead of +3, it's negative. You can go ahead and make a chart. Okay, so now we know what this does. It should start at 0, 4, and then when you put in 1, you're going to have 1, 8. But what does this -5 do? So now it's going to be 0, -1, and 1, 3. What did that -5 do? I think you already know. You've seen enough of this. That drops things, doesn't it? So when we have, we put in a negative number like -2 for x, this would be 1 minus 5 is -4. Okay, so -2, -4. Well, eventually, that bottom border, if you like, horizontal asymptote, if you want to get official, is changed because of this. So this changes the range. Okay, now instead of saying y is greater than 0, whoa, that moved it down. Y is greater than -5. You can still put anything you want to that. But when you add or subtract after you do the other stuff to your power, that moves your graph up and down, just like it did with quadratics, just like it did with absolute values, treats it exactly the same. All right, now again, this time we're changing the exponent. 3 to the x, you're getting handy at this, aren't you? 1/3, 1/9. Okay. So what does that plus 2 do? Well, when you try to make your chart, if you put 0 in for x, this is really raising 3 to the second, and we get 9. If we want to raise 3 to the 0, we got to put -2 in for x. Okay, so 0, 9 would be up here. What did that do? Well, what it does is it shifts left for x plus whatever number. What do you suppose x minus some number is going to do? And some of you already have figured out that's going to shift it right. Okay, so you still get this general idea of, okay, yeah, exponential, they take off in a hurry, they get flat on the other side. It has this critical changing point. But the plus or the minus in the exponent shifts it left and right. The plus or the minus in your equation after you do your exponent, that moves it up and down. Okay, so if we put it all together, B is your base. It's what you multiply. The bigger B is, when it's more than 1, the quicker it goes up. Okay, what does A do? Okay, A is going to change the start. Some people say the y-intercept when your exponent is 0. Okay, so it might not be x equals 0, but when the exponent is 0. Okay, the C, that's going to move it right or left. It's going to move it right when it's a minus, and it's going to move it left when it's a plus. And finally, the D is going to move it up or down. Okay, so that kind of puts it all together for you so you can look at that. So I think there's one. If not, I'm going to make one up. Okay, I'm going to make one up. So if I see y equals 3 times 2 to the x plus 1 plus 3. Okay, well, should I change that so it's not plus 3? Let's go plus 4. Okay, so when I look at this right away, I see, okay, plus 1. To me, that's going to go left 1. This makes it go down 4. Or excuse me, up 4 because it's plus, it's not opposite. Up 4. And this changes my vertical start. Okay, my base is 2. So I know I'm not going to get below 4. So here's my 4. So I know that this is going to be my bottom. My range y is going to be greater than 4. Okay, it moves it left 1. So normally I would start at -1, 1. Well, excuse me, yeah, -1, 5 because of the plus 4. But that 3 changes it, so it's going to go up even further. So I think my first point on this is going to be -1, 7. And you can check that. And with the base being 2, but the 3 multiplies it, it's going to be steeper. I think it's going to look something like that.